Hi, this is Deb,
And this is Mike.
and today is Memorial Day. So we thought that today we would reflect back on, talk a little bit about Memorial Day and reflect back on what we used to do as kids and what we do now for Memorial Day. We know that there's people watching that aren't from the United States, and we're wondering, we know that some countries do have Memorial Day, but we don't know how you celebrate it.
Or
So
what you even call it.
or what you even call it.
Right.
So we would love for you to tell us what you do and what your traditions are, if you have any traditions at all. Um, and so we're gonna start, Mike.
Okay. Back in grade school, I don't know if some of you remember, but it was a real big deal that they had to teach you as part of history, teach you about Memorial Day. Well, Memorial Day was actually originally Decoration Day.
Yeah, I
And,
didn't know that. I kind of remembered that from grade school, but
right.
I didn't really
That's because it was a long time ago.
remember.
And uh, Decoration Day started after the Civil War, and it was designed to at the grave sites of these soldiers who had passed, that they decorated with flowers, flags, and wreaths. And I can't remember when they changed to Memorial Day, but at some point they did. But that's how it all started. That's how it was all established. So that's the history of it. And the other thing they would tell us is there is a difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Right.
Memorial Day is for those men and women who died while serving their country, uh, not even while serving their country. And Veterans Day is for those veterans, honoring those who are living and also have deceased. That's in November. So there is a distinct difference. And a lot of times, as a kid, you kind of really didn't. It was just another holiday, talking about veterans and wars and things like that. But there are the two differences.
Right. I did ask my kids, my grandkids, they if the little kids knew the difference. And if they talk about Memorial Day in school, and there was a difference. One said yes, he knows all about war. He's 8. He knows all about wars and the holidays. And the other ones were like that they touch on it, but they don't touch on it as much as that school did. So just a little background of us. I'm not military. I didn't serve in any military.
Right.
Michael, you
I was in the Air National Guard, which is part of the U.S. Air Force. I was in for about 7 years, and never went to war, even though it was during the Vietnam War. I never did go. Um, Back then, in the 60s and 70s, we had what we call a draft lottery.
and if you're like 70-ish,
You'll know what I'm
you'll
talking
you'll
about.
know.
There was a draft lottery, and based on your birthday, there was a time where they would pick the birth dates out, basically out of a hat, and whatever day your birthday came up, that was your lottery number. So if you were born on a certain date and your date was the 10th one picked, then your draft lottery number was number 10.
Right.
Well, there's 365 days in a year. Mine was 302. So I would never be drafted because they only went up to maybe 100, 110, 120. It was somewhere in there. So I was never going to be drafted. But about 6 months later, I decided to join. So that's what I had done. Deb.
My dad served in Korea. He actually was stationed in the Korean War. Was stationed in Germany, and actually my mother and my brother went over there with him. He also had 3 brothers, and they all enlisted, and they were all in the Korean War.
My father, who served in World War II, was a Marine over in the Pacific Theater, and he served for 9 years, and he finally got out just before the Korean conflict. Um, he had a time when he was basically missing in action. Family didn't know where he was, hadn't heard from him in
For a
months,
few months, right?
and eventually, after talking to some people of importance, they were able to get some information that uh, he was found on a hospital ship because he had been wounded. And so they found that out. He was going to be fine. They were assured that he was alive, they told him. And my father was also ordered to write home immediately because hospital ships are actually pretty much top secret. And but the injuries that he did get at that time, he basically lived those injuries and resulted with them until the
Right.
day he passed. But he was able to work and have
Right.
a
He
full
walked
life.
with a limp
Yep.
his whole life.
And my father also had four brothers. He was the oldest of five boys. He had four brothers, and all four of them actually served over in Europe after World War II. So that's part of what they have done.
Right. And then
Uh,
son-in-law.
our son-in-law, our son-in-law served in the Army Rangers in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was pretty severely wounded. And to this day, he still has effects from that, and he still has actually surgeries from it. It's been quite a while, but he lives a full life,
Yep.
and he is very, very proud to be a veteran. He still has some people that he did serve with, but it's one of those things where if you talk to any of these people who are in any kind of a war, they don't really like to talk about it too much, but they're still very proud to have served
Right.
their country.
Right. The other thing,
Oh, and the
oh,
last thing,
and the last thing is that we don't know anybody. We have no relatives,
no one, yep,
no relatives that have ever died in a war.
right,
We do know of people, local people, but personally, we don't
yep,
have any
nobody in our
relatives.
family. Very, very,
Nobody.
very, very fortunate, and
Right.
um,
Right.
but we do honor those and pray for those who did lose family members.
Right. So what we do is we start decorating our house on Memorial Day.
Right,
We hang our flag, we put our buntings up, and we've been doing that since we've been married.
since we were married, yeah,
And we keep our flag out from Memorial Day all the way to Veterans Day
right,
in November,
right, and to
um,
honor all of
and
those,
to honor them all. So we live in a really small town. We lived in two towns. This is the smaller of the two towns.
they're next to each
They're
other,
right next to each other, and they celebrate Memorial Day in big ways. Like
right,
they have big parades, speakers, wreath laying, music, bands, cookouts, big stuff, and it goes from one town to the other town,
right.
um,
And there are other speeches.
and lots of
And
speeches.
Debbie tried to be involved with the speeches. What happened there, Deb?
So when I was a kid, I was in the Girl Scouts, and I wanted to I wanted to have a part so bad. I was a Girl Scout for about 6 years, and every year they would pick a kid to say the poem in Flanders Fields, or you could do the Gettysburg Address. So I memorized those, and every year I tried out, and every year I never got picked. But to this
Oh.
day, I still know the poem in
But
Flanders
but
Field.
don't ask her for it because I don't know if she can do it.
Oh, I could do it.
Uh, on my side of things, I was always in a band. I wasn't in the Scouts. I was in Little League, but I was in band. And for at least 6 years, if not more, uh, all the parades in town, but especially Memorial Day, Veterans Day, I would always be in those. I was in the drum line, which actually allowed me to go to where the speeches were and everything, and we had to do our part there. And so we did those, and she had done her thing, and also all four of our kids
Yeah,
were in that same
marching band.
marching band, junior high and high school, and they all served for 6 years doing the same thing. But what's the point you want to make about being in the parade?
Point being that we never got to sit and watch the parades.
Right,
We always were in the parades
for a lot of
for
years.
a lot of years until our kids got out of high school. Then we were able to actually sit, take our lawn chairs, and go sit and enjoy the parades and the speeches.
Right,
Because we could just relax.
right. But it's a small town thing. They still do them.
Right.
Unfortunately, today's and the whole area around here
Oh yeah,
been rained out.
it was rained out all day. Although they were inside,
Yes,
which that was okay. But it's nothing like being outside and
right,
watching the parades. There was no parade. The parades were all canceled.
right.
So the other thing we do is we like to go and decorate the graves. So we do go to a lot of cemeteries and find our family members and decorate their graves. Lay some flowers down. Um,
We even do a little bit of maintenance,
yeah,
because there's thousands of them, so they don't. get to them like we'd want them to. So we bring a weed whacker, a trimmer, rakes,
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
like Debbie said, flowers and plants, whatever we may bring. And what we've also done is uh, we go to her one of her grandmothers, and she's got neighbors, and the neighbors have never been taken care of.
Yeah. These some
So
of these graves are from like the 50s, and seriously, they're the flat stones, and you really can't even see the names. So this year we cleaned off 4 or 5 of them.
yeah, we started doing it a couple of years ago, and yeah, so that's what we do, and
It's just something we
something
just like to
we
do.
like to
We
do.
like to do.
And I believe we go to like 3 or 4 cemeteries.
Yeah.
You know, my father's in one, uh,
Yeah.
her mother's in one, her father's in another one. Grandparents are in different ones,
Yeah.
so
So
um,
we do
we do quite a bit.
go to many of them. Um, so we try to look, and we do remember how we celebrated as a kid. We used to have big giant cookouts in our yards, um, wiffle ball games,
The parades, the
horseshoes.
food,
Yeah,
and just to get together, and
big get-togethers.
that's another way to look at it. But as kids, that's what we remembered,
Right,
and bringing up our own kids, those kind of things just continue
right.
on.
We still do the same thing, and like we said, today was a washout.
Right. So we
We're
just
not going to
visit
have
and
a
say hi,
cookout,
and
but we are getting together with our family.
right. So can you tell us what you do on a day like this?
Right.
What would Memorial Day be typical for you
Do you celebrate it the same way you did when you were a kid? Did you honor it
in
and
some
celebrate
way?
it at all, or do you just is it just another day? But we really like to know. We 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 think this is a day to reflect and thank
And
thank those
appreciate,
that sacrificed for
right,
us.
and appreciate our history
Right,
and our families and all those who have given their lives for us.
right,
So let us know. Give us some comments and experiences,
right,
and what you think of what we've talked about, because it is a special day, and we weren't quite sure if we were going to do anything today. But
right,
then we started thinking about it and said, maybe this is something we'd like to share with
right.
people.
So on that note,
Yes, we will see you in the next video, and we just want to be thankful.
thankful today and every day.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.